Hey guys, it's Andrew Mashiko here. Recently there's been quite a lot of media coverage around these pickup artists from the US being kicked out of the country. Now, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of discuss what it is that I do that's different from pickup and why pickup really doesn't work to get where you want to be. Now, some of the criticism around the implementation of manipulative and highly abusive tactics by some of these guys is well justified. What isn't justified is that the work that I do has been in certain media been shunted into exactly the same bucket. All right, just due to the fact that yes, I used to be a pickup artist myself. I've come from that background and I've been nothing less than straightforward about that and own up to that. Yes, I was coming from a very dark, very insecure place where I thought that using these techniques to gain control was what made me more of a man. To be able to sleep with multiple women, as many women as possible, would somehow stroke my ego, make me a better man, make me better in the eyes of all my peers, and I would get adulation from this and kudos. Well, the truth is that I went through that path, yes, but I got to the other side thinking, well, none of this stuff matters. Like, I'm not actually any happier for it because guess what? I can't get any proper relationships from it. None of these interactions last for more than a night. And I've been talking to a lot of guys who came from RSD and these schools of pickup, and even had some of these guys come through my seminars and had nothing but praise. So the first thing I ask them, and I'll ask you if you're currently involved with pickup, is how many of these interactions, say you go to a club and you hit on a girl that's there, you manage to take them home, you push them beyond their boundaries, which is what you're taught to do, push until you get them to relent. So let me ask you, how many times has this situation panned out longer than an evening, right? Even when you wanted to call the girl because she seemed really interesting, she seemed really cool, you're not going to get a response back. And the reason is simple. One, this is manipulation, right? Make no mistake. And women are highly intuitive beings, so they see right through the tricks, the gambits, the routines, the lines, right? They know when you are putting on a facade that isn't congruent with the inside. This is why pickup doesn't work ultimately in the long term, right? It's because you're creating this facade, this fake facade on the outside that is supposed to demonstrate you as a certain person, right? While you're doing that, the actual person on the inside isn't that person. So the words and the energy don't match, and so there's incongruence. And when there's incongruence, you don't feel real, right? And a woman is a very intuitive being. They can sense this a mile away, and they don't trust you. And when you're pushing a woman beyond her comfort zone, beyond this gray area of consent, like you're pushing her beyond that because that's what you do, right? Then what happens is that the moment they've decided that they're going to sleep with you is the moment they've decided they're never ever going to talk to you ever again because they don't trust you, they don't feel safe. Now, let me ask you, is that a proper way of starting a relationship? Is that a proper way of connecting and relating to another human being? No, it's downright disrespectful. It's taking advantage. It's taking from somebody, right? Without giving, without coming from a place in your heart where you want to give, where you want to be real and authentic and get to know somebody out of pure curiosity, not just because you're horny, right? So what I teach is the direct opposite of pickup, right? What I teach is how to be real. There are no tricks, there are no games, there's no manipulation. Because when you're real, when you're authentic, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable in front of a woman, or a woman in front of a man, right? Because all this stuff that I teach is universal, right? And I have many women clients who are extremely successful in gaining very incredibly fulfilling relationships off the back of what I teach, which is to be real, right? I teach you how to be the person inside that is your most powerful, that is your most embodied, that is the true you, without fear of judgment, without fear of what everybody else is thinking about you, right? This isn't about impressing the guys at the pub with how many girls you get laid with. No, this is about actually connecting with human beings so you can have a fulfilling human experience, an experience of love, of connection, of relationships, of relating, right? This is real. This is what us as human beings are here for. This is what is most important in our human experience, right? It's not about the number of women you lay, right? It's not some lay count that is your value as a human being. No, it is your true core identity, right? That's your value. Your value is on the inside. And you may not understand it yet. You may not recognize what it is. But that's why we do coaching, right? That's why we do a program like mine where you figured that out, right? The tricks, the gambits, all that stuff, it's not real. And what happens is you can't even take an interaction further because you've got nothing to say that's real. And so the woman will see through you. She doesn't want to have a part of you in your life because it's not real, right? It's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to grab on, right? And I say this with authority because I've been there, I've done that. You know, I coach guys who have come out the other end of these programs saying, what in the hell am I doing? You know, I can't have relationships with people. This is not leading me to a happier place. And they come to me and they ask me for help because that's what I do, right? I help you discover yourself so that you can communicate in the most effective way possible, right? This is not about impressing the world or impressing anybody else. This is about you being who you are in your element, out in the world, being exactly as you are, and then being appreciated for it. Finding those people who are aligned to you so that you create incredibly fulfilling, satisfying, connected relationships. And I'm not talking just with people that you have romantic or sexual relations with. This extends to your job, your social life, everywhere, right? Because when you start being real, people learn to relax. They learn to take down their walls and be real with you. That's what this is about. This is about building this environment of encouraging others to open up and connect with you, right? And the magic starts to happen when you do this. This is not what you learn in pickup, right? Pickup is all about what crazy antics and lines can I throw out there to distract, to manipulate, to then put them off kilter so that they're vulnerable, so they can go in for the attack, right? And pull them aside and push until they relent and then agree to sleep with you, right? Not out of their own actual desire, but more out of like, well, what the fuck is happening, right? Seriously, guys, that is not what we would call consensual, right? It's just not consensual. And it pains me to see that, guys, because in this day and age, the truth is that a lot of guys are criticized for wanting to be a better person. And I've seen some of the comments that people have put down, responding to articles about this stuff, calling men losers for want to gain better social skills. But let me ask you, where in your past, in your life, have you been able to be taught this stuff? Nobody ever teaches you this. There are some guys out there who are quote unquote naturals. Sure, they had great role models, right? It could have been their older brother, their father, whoever, a bunch of friends who knew about this stuff, right? And that's how that got communicated. There are guys who, you know, can put aside their fear of being judged and criticized and move and seek out these self-development opportunities. Unfortunately, some of them come across the hype of, you know, some of these pickup crews, and what they do is they go deep in this, and then they get tainted by the environment. It's a really deep, dark environment, encouraging abusive and manipulative behavior, very unhealthy. It is totally disrespectful to the feminine. It's totally disrespectful to yourself, because you deserve more, right? You deserve more. You deserve to be recognized and understood for the amazing person you are on the inside, right? But first, it takes you understanding what that is first, right? And then learning how to communicate that. And that is what I do, right? It's self-development. It's understanding who you are, finding the best version of you, learning how to strip away all the bullshit that holds you back, the social conditioning, the insecurities, these false personas that we wear. We strip all that away so that you are the most raw, authentic version of you. And I teach you how to embrace that, how to embody that fully, and so that you communicate it. You just are that person day in, day out, wherever you go. And when you're not afraid to polarize people, meaning that you just speak your truth all the time, then guess what? Yes, a lot of people may be turned away by you, but that's okay, because your goal is not to impress every single person on this planet, despite what we've been told since we were so young, right? The goal is to find and be accepted by the people who are aligned to you. And it might be 5% of people, it might be 10% of people, but guess what? That's still like 10,000 people in your city, right? People who are truly aligned, who believe in the same things that you believe in, have a shared vision, shared values, right? That's what it's about, because that's where you're going to connect. When you connect on that level, then your whole life changes, right? That's where you find real love. Not just the kind of relationship that's born out of pure convenience, where it's like, oh, I see you there, you see me here. Well, we might as well get together, because that's what I see a lot of folks doing, right? And that is a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for relationship breakdowns further down the track, because you're not aligned. So what I teach is, how do you find other people that are aligned to you? How do you become aligned to yourself, congruent, integral, right? Integrity is massive. It's not about tricks, manipulation, okay? It's about being real. That's where it starts. And that's why pickup doesn't work, not in the long term. That's why my stuff does, right? That's why what I teach is so powerful. The power to communicate, the power to influence. It's incredible, and it will absolutely change your life. So that's it for today. I just need to get that out there, because there seems to be massive misunderstandings around what it is I truly do. And I just wanted to take this opportunity just to communicate that very clearly, okay? I do not do pickup. Pickup just does not work, not in the long term. But this stuff does. This is authentic attraction. This is authentic, being real, being authentic, being the most attractive version of yourself. And that's what I teach you to do. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.